A sister might be woken up by her alarm clock sometime between 5 and 6 in the morning, and then she might go to one of the shared bathrooms and have a shower, then go back to her room and get dressed and everything like that. And then she might go to a little kitchen area near the sisters' bedrooms to make herself a cup of tea or coffee and take that back into her room. And then at some point a bell will probably go to signal the first service of the day, so all the sisters would gather in the chapel early in the morning to praise God. And then the sisters might go back to their rooms for a bit for a time of personal prayer or reading the Bible for themselves, and then they would go back to chapel again to praise God and pray for the day ahead, and that may well then lead into a service of Holy Communion. By now it'd be time for breakfast, which the sisters would probably have silently together in the refectory. Then after breakfast there would be some cleaning up to do and washing up and putting things away. And then there might just be a few minutes for the sister to go back to her room or have a quick walk around the grounds before another short service, which this time might only be about 15 minutes long or so. And then around about 9 o'clock in the morning or so, the sisters might then, before the day gets going, have a short meeting, a bit like a team meeting, to discuss what the day ahead holds and who's doing what. Now the sisters would probably go off in different directions to do whatever their tasks appointed for the day are. So our sister might go over to the guest accommodation and make sure the guests have got everything they need, and maybe change any bedding that needs changing for any guests that have left. And then she might do some domestic tasks or cleaning around the main convent itself, or she might have some more like domestic type chores to do in the grounds. By now our sister will be very thirsty, so she may well stop about 10:30 or 11 just for a short tea break, coffee break, which she may well have in silence on her own, or she might be able to have with other sisters and have a very brief conversation with them mid-morning before she goes on to the next thing. If she's a novice, our sister might have a class to attend, or she might have to do some reading about religious life or about the rule of the order that she's joined. If she's not a novice, she may well be out and about doing some form of ministry in the local community, and sisters that are based in the convent that morning might be asked to help prepare the main meal that's coming up at around midday. At about 12:15 there might be a very short service, like 10 minutes or so, before the main meal of the day, which the sisters may well eat all together in silence in the refectory. Then after the main meal there might be another very short service in chapel. What there definitely will be is a lot of washing up, so some of the sisters will be asked to help wash up or dry or put things away, and the sisters will probably all do this together but in silence. There might be a chance after the main meal for the sisters to do something together, so there might be a short choir practice, or some of the sisters might sit together to do the crossword from that day's newspaper, and then our sister might have some time to do what she likes, so she might read the newspaper for that day or read a Christian magazine, and then she might go on the community computer and answer emails or update the community's Facebook page or receive any prayer requests that have been directed to the community and make sure that these are written on the intercession board outside the chapel. The sister might try to find a bit of time in the afternoon to do some reading, like spiritual reading from a Christian book, or she might need to prepare for something she's been asked to lead or speak at, maybe like a prayer workshop or a quiet day or a retreat, or she might have been asked to speak at a social action kind of event. And then she'll definitely have a bit of time for some recreation, so she might go outside just to sit outside and get some fresh air, or she might go for a short walk around the grounds, or it might be that she can do something a bit more active outside for a bit. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sisters might all come together for a cup of tea and for some conversation with each other, and then between that cup of tea and vespers or evening prayer there might be some time for the sister just to finish a few tasks or assignments, like maybe bringing in the laundry that she was drying earlier, or writing a reflection that she's been asked to write as part of her novice formation. At about 5 o'clock it's time for the sisters to gather in chapel again to praise God together and pray for the world, especially people they might have encountered that day or helped or read about that day. and it might be that there's some time also in the afternoon or the evening for a sister just to pray on her own for a bit, either in her room or in the chapel. Some of the sisters might gather together in the common room to watch the national news on TV, the evening news, and then after that there would be supper, which the sisters might eat in silence again together. And then, as with before, like any meal, there'll be lots of washing up and drying up to do afterwards. Maybe cleaning the kitchen, like an end of the day kitchen cleaning routine, and there might be a need to set up for breakfast for the next day. And then once those evening chores are out the way, there should be a bit of time maybe for the sister just to sit and read a novel for a bit, or maybe find an activity to do in the common room, like with another sister, like play chess, do a jigsaw or something like that. Or some of the sisters might watch a bit of TV together. Then at some point, maybe about 9 o'clock in the evening, a bell will go for the final service of the day, the end of the day prayers or compline, and after that it may well be that the sisters are now on silence until the next day. That doesn't mean the sisters need to go straight to bed. They can maybe just do whatever they like quietly in their room for a bit, and then a sister might choose to spend a few more moments in prayer on her own in her room before getting ready for bed. Maybe there's a sink in her own room that she can wash at, and then she'll probably go to bed or go to sleep at about 10 o'clock at night, ready for the next day.